Well, welcome once again, friends, to First Baptist Church, Grand Cayman. Thank you for joining us for our continuing series in the book of Numbers. And today we're skating around Numbers chapter 32, which I'm entitling One More Fact. Just recently I was watching an interview of a well-known and well-respected British politician. He was taking questions on a radio chat show, and a caller came on who was utterly offensive. "You're a hypocrite," he said to the politician. "You don't actually go with what you say," and on he went. And he was very gracious as he handled this gentleman. And then they got to the heart of the subject. "You are a Brexiteer. You took Britain out of the European Union, and yet your investment firm has opened an office in Dublin, which is still part of the European Union. You're a hypocrite." In very measured tones, the politician explained that they hadn't actually opened any office in Dublin. This was not true. The facts were simply, as a large investment company of which he was a part, they had funds all around the world, but no new offices had been opened in Dublin. "Yes, they have," said the man. "You're a hypocrite." And on he went. Of course, anybody can be harsh, intransigent, and totally judgmental when they have no facts to go on. And some people, like this caller, were really in a class of their own in the sheer invective that they'd poured on this very gracious British politician. Back here in Numbers chapter 32, we have a similar explosive situation where the majority tribes of ancient Israel are under the impression that 2.5 of their tribes, Reuben, Gad, and half the tribe of Manasseh, are about to drop out of active service in taking the promised land, not wishing to cross the Jordan River with them. Moses sadly doesn't come out too well in the narrative, jumping to unwarranted conclusions early on. So verses 6 and 7 say, "Moses said to the Gadites and Reubenites, 'Should your fellow Israelites go to war while you sit here? Why do you discourage the Israelites from crossing over into the land the Lord has given them?'" He continues to vent his spleen, as we say, as in verse 14 we further read, "And here you are, a brood of sinners, standing in the place of your fathers and making the Lord even more angry with Israel." Now, thankfully, Moses did give them an opportunity to explain what was behind their request not to cross the Jordan. The truth is, they tell him, that their inheritance has come to them on the other side of the Jordan. However, they are totally willing to cross the Jordan, leaving their wives and families behind, to enable the rest of the tribes to find their inheritance in the rest of the promised land. Moses is satisfied. So we read, verse 33, "Then Moses gave to the Gadites, the Reubenites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, the whole land with its cities and the territory around them." You see, there'd been a very clear and present danger that not only Moses and the other 9.5 tribes would be on a potential warpath with their brothers, but that this could have wiped out with internal division so many of the people of God. By the way, some similar misunderstandings arose in the book of Joshua, chapter 22, again concerning these 2.5 tribes and the rest of ancient Israel. Judgments were made without having all the facts. Thankfully, here in Numbers 32, opportunity was given for the tribes to explain themselves. In the well-known hymn, "Praise My Soul, the King of Heaven," the hymn writer reminds us of our glorious God as one who is, quote, "slow to chide and swift to bless." To chide is a strong word, meaning to scold, rebuke, castigate. For some people, they're just the polar opposite. They are swift to chide and very slow and reluctant to bless. There is so much suspicion in their hearts, always thinking the worst about people, always putting a negative complexion on anything that's happening. Let's be honest, such people are no fun to be around. One of my now retired colleagues at Moorlands College used to have a wise phrase when dealing with various and potentially explosive situations. When conflict was near, he would say, "Do remember, there's always one more fact." In other words, before you become judge, jury, and executioner, just consider that there may be other factors in play of which you are not aware. So give people the opportunity to let you know why they're doing what they're doing or why they did what they did. It might save a lot of strife and pain. One leading UK politician some decades ago now, when his party was tearing itself apart with internal division, said this: "We need more fraternity and less fratricide. You know, we need to remember we're brothers and sisters in the family of God and should never be on a mission to kill each other by our words, attitudes, and actions." Thank God, I say, for the wisdom of adopting, quote, one more fact, for it worked for Moses and the tribes and saved them an awful lot of pain. In our homes, families, and churches especially. Let's be like God, our loving Father, slow to chide and swift to bless. And if we go forth today to do that, blessing others on the way, then we'll discover not only they are blessed, but we are richly blessed too. Well, the Lord bless you today, and may He bless everyone through you whom you encounter this day. To His glory. Amen.